So just the other day, me and my friends were hanging out and we decided to put on the tattoo reality show Ink Masters. And out of all the tattoo reality shows out there, all of them, they bother me to a T. But I gotta say, nothing infuriates me more than when I watch Ink Masters because it is just wrong on so many different levels and it's just so fake. And watching it, I was like, I need to make a video on Ink Masters and hear from you in the Evolve community what your thoughts are on Ink Masters. So today, we're going to be talking all about the tattoo reality show Ink Masters, why I think it's bogus, and also just do a little deep dive into the show and just try to let you guys know how bogus and fake this show actually is. Even though it might be entertaining sometimes, but we'll get into that later. Now, before we get started, I gotta ask you, have you ever watched Ink Masters before? As well as, what are your thoughts on the show? I know it can be entertaining sometimes, but what are your, what's your honest opinion on the show? Because for me, we'll get into a little bit more deeper, but I just think it's a joke, to be honest with you. But anyway, if this is your first time here, be sure to subscribe to EvolveINK. We talk all about tattoos on this channel, and we would love to have you here. Now, if you're somebody that has been living under a rock and doesn't know what Ink Masters is, it's pretty much a tattoo reality TV show that used to be on one of the channels before, but now it's on Paramount Plus, the new seasons are, to where a bunch of different tattoo artists from all over the world gather to one area and do a bunch of different challenges. And yes, of course, most of them are tattoo-related challenges to where they need to, like, say, do a specific art style or tattoo a specific area of the body. But also, they do a bunch of different kinds of challenges, like when it comes to art, or maybe they have to, like, paint, like I saw one where they have to paint, like, a skull, and, you know, all those challenges will then end up, you know, figuring out what canvas they could pick and pretty much having a little bit of an upper hand to the rest of the people. And what they end up winning at the very last episode, what the challengers, the tattoo artists, win is $100,000, a spot in Ink magazine, which is like the biggest tattoo magazine on the planet, and the title of Ink Masters. Now, it is a super popular TV show for both casual people that might not really have tattoos, as well as heavily tattooed people. And if you're an artist that ends up getting on Ink Masters somehow, like, you don't even need to go to, like, the finals or get far into the competition to actually become popular. I mean, I saw people that were, like, ended up getting ruled out, like, the first or second episode, and they ended up having, like, total bookings, which I don't really understand how that works. If they weren't good in the competition, how can you trust them to get, like, you know, a tattoo from them? But anyway, with all that said, the show was actually canceled back in 2020 due to the whole Oliver Peck blackface scandal, and we'll talk more about that later. But the show actually returned with a whole new cast, and this show is super popular. I mean, I believe it's been on for like 15 seasons now in total, and still going. There's still new episodes that come out all of the time. Now, before I end up telling you why I feel like this show is just a complete joke, I do want to give it some credit where credit's due. I mean, in the tattoo industry, Ink Masters, it's known by everybody. And because of its big popularity and being, I believe, one of the first tattoo reality TV shows out there, it really brought tattoos and tattoo artists into, like, the mainstream, which I do give it credit there. I believe that it did have a big component on why tattoos are so popular today, because it was just on reality TV show and anybody could watch it. As well as, I do like, you know, some of the challenges, like how, like, they really test different artists' skill, because, like, yes, I feel like a tattoo artist, they could be great at, you know, tattooing, but let's see what else they got to offer. Like, I love when a tattoo artist is multi-talented and not only good at providing art on the skin, but also good at providing art in other places, oil paintings, you know, wood carvings, whatever the case may be. I do like those types of challenges on Ink Masters. So those are the two things that I can honestly say that I do like about the show. But now let's get into some of the stuff that irks me about the show. And I would love to know if you agree on this stuff too. Now, the first thing that I want to talk about that ticks me off about Ink Masters is the judges, and specifically the judges from season 1 to, I believe, season like 13 or 14, the original judges. And that was Oliver Peck, a famous American traditional tattoo artist. Chris Nunez, he was a tattoo artist as well. And Dave Narvo, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, the guitarist guy, the host. Now, once the show got canceled because of Oliver Peck, he pretty much dressed up as blackface and kind of made a huge joke about it, which is, like, disgusting as it is. But anyway, the show got canceled and then came back with a brand new cast. None of the old ones were in there. It was a totally brand new cast with the judges Joel Madden. I believe he's from Good Charlotte. Ryan Ashley and Nikki Hurtado, which I do actually like his work a lot. Like I said, why they ended up switching was because of the whole Oliver Peck thing. He made a huge joke about it, and everybody got pissed off, as they should have been. And then show got canceled, but there was still that demand there for Ink Masters because, like I've been mentioning this whole video, it is a super popular TV show. Paramount Plus ended up picking them up and then aired it and started streaming it with brand new seasons on there with a brand new cast. Now, I don't really watch the show that often. I don't even think I ever watched an episode with the brand new cast because it just ticks me off. Usually the reruns are with the old cast, but man, the old cast was just so terrible. And I understand, like, you know, for people that don't really know much about tattoos, they might think that the cast, like, oh, these guys, their word is golden. But if you ever look at Oliver Peck's tattoos or Chris, the other dude's name, his tattoos, they really have no room to judge other people's tattoos. Like, man, when they're judging people's tattoos at like the finals, like when they're ending up like, oh yeah, this is wrong with your tattoo, this is wrong with your tattoo. And then I look at their tattoos, like Oliver Peck's and whatever, I'm like, dude, in regards of American traditional, I give you like a 6 out of 10. Like, it's not really that good. I don't know how that guy ended up getting so famous, and this is just my opinion. I don't know how that guy got so famous for his work. I feel like he's just more of a celebrity tattoo artist, so people don't really care about the quality of his work more than he is just like, you know, the quality of work is not there. And then the other guy, I mean, I looked at some of his tattoos and I'm just like, man, like, these people have like no right to judge tattoos. And I'm somebody that looks at, you know, hundreds if not thousands of tattoos throughout the week, just scrolling through Instagram and seeing tattoos from you guys. And I gotta say, I will die on this hill. 99% of the tattoos that you guys send me in the Evolve community or I see online are better than the tattoos that not only the judges are producing themselves, their tattoos that they give other people, but also the tattoos that are actually being like judged. Like, and we'll get into that in a minute, but as you can see, I'm getting all worked up because it's a big thing. Because I'm like, how are these people judging their tattoos? Like, their tattoos suck. Like, when they are judging other people's tattoos, I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Like, there's some things to where like I see these tattoos and I'm just like, that is like a terrible looking tattoo. But to them, they're like, oh, I love this work. It's nice and clean. The lines are straight. You know, the line weights are all good. And I'm just like, how is that possible? How is this tattoo winning the competition? There's some tattoos that win, and I'm just like, how the hell is that pushing through? And I feel like that it ends up like kind of giving like the audience, the viewer watching, kind of like the wrong impression on what a good tattoo is, as well as there's other tattoos that I've seen that like get ruled out of that out of the competition, or tattoo artists that get ruled out of the competition for their work, but their tattoos are actually better than the person that won the competition. And again, I just feel like it kind of like is almost like a little bit biased, and that's one of the reasons why I think the competition's fake overall. But don't get it twisted. I would say majority of the tattoos that I've seen on Ink Masters, and I pretty much watched every single season besides the new seasons, majority of those tattoos are absolute garbage for the most part. There's a couple of tattoo artists that I do still follow, like Tattoo Baby. Like, I feel like her work is really good. And, you know, going back from then when she was on the show to now, you could see the progression of her work. It is really beautiful. I do like her tattoos. But majority of the tattoo artists out there that were on that show, their tattoos are trash. And then what even ticks me off even more is like I'll see them like at like tattoo conventions, and I'll be walking around and they have like these big tents and big signs saying like, oh, as seen on Ink Masters. But their tattoos are trash, and I feel like they're just using the name Ink Masters and the fact that they were on a tattoo reality TV show to bring in clients when their work doesn't justify it. these tattoo artists, they just seem like basic to me. And now they're going to be charging premium rates because they were on this show. Okay, so now that we talked about the judges, the tattoos, the tattoo artists on the show, the next thing I want to talk about is just how it's fake. And you might be saying, like, Mike, it's a reality TV show. Majority of it is fake. I mean, every reality TV show is fake nowadays. But anyway, from me talking to other tattoo artists, as well as just digging and doing research for this video for other like contestants that were on Ink Masters, a lot of people say it's fake. The first thing I gotta say is that there is no way in hell that every single episode ends the exact same. Every single tattoo challenge ends exactly the same. As you know, there's a bunch of different tattoo artists, and like two of them are arguing against each other and like have beef, and then you have that one tattoo artist that is just racing the clock and ends and puts their machine down at the exact 0 point. Like, time's over, now they're putting their tattoo machine down. Like, there is no way that happens every single episode. And I get it, it does build suspense, but it's like, come on. Like, try to make it realistic a little bit. It's not always going to be like that. And I know personally some people that were on Ink Masters to where like they stated that those time challenges, they're like, you know, they're not really anywhere close to being true of what you see on TV. Like there's contestants that will end up getting done their tattoos and there'll still be like an hour and a half left on the clock. And as I was doing research for this video, I wanted to fact check some things, and I did stumble across this one contestant that was on season 6 of Ink Masters named Tyler Nolan, and he stated that 99% of the show is just complete BS. Everyone on the show has an earpiece, and the canvases are told how to act. So, like, for example, when you see people acting like they're squirming in pain, they're being told to act that way. If there's a client that's being, you know, kind of hard-headed with the design that the tattoo artist created, they're being told to act a certain way. Tyler also stated in that same interview that even the judges were told what to say and how to act, which is, you know, kind of goes off of what I was talking about earlier, where like, I'm like, how are these judges saying these things about these tattoos when they just look absolutely terrible? It's because somebody that probably is uneducated with tattoos is telling them what to do, which, you know, I was kind of like, you know, shitting on the judges earlier, but I guess this kind of makes more sense at the fact that, you know, hey, these judges are being told what to say. That's why it doesn't always seem like it's factual, or like, and you're like, how is this tattoo artist saying this tattoo's good when it looks like dookie? So from Tyler over here and a couple other contestants that I did some research on, they're all pretty much saying that the show is faked. Now, it can be faked and still entertaining, which sometimes it is. But yeah, for the most part, when you're watching it, no, majority of the time that it's fake. Now, with all of that said, I want to know what your thoughts are about this whole Ink Masters thing. Leave a comment below and share your thoughts. I always love to hear from you guys in the Evolve community. And up next, I want you to go check out this video right over here. It's all about tattoo addiction, and I would love to hear from you over there on your thoughts on, do you think tattoos are addicted? So click on this video right here, and if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.